Clock fans, you're listening to another episode with your hosts Raul Lascano and George Martinez as they square off and tackle all of today's hot topics in sports news, trends, current issues happening locally and nationally, as well as highlighting some of our local student athletes across the Sunshine State. Now, welcome your hosts, Raul Lascano and George Martinez. You're on the clock.
What is going on, my guy? It's a beautiful, beautiful Friday morning.
It really is beautiful, isn't it?
I am pumped.
Yeah, man. We got a lot to talk about, bro.
We do. So we're gonna run through the agenda real quick. We got breaking news going on around the NFL. You got Andre Johnson made some interesting comments about what's going on in Texas. The Eagles are at it again. We're going to talk about their coaching candidates and who they're considering as a hire. Alabama made a OC change after he departed for a college job. We're going to tell you who they replace him with. We're going to get into the playoffs, the matchups this weekend, and one of the most interesting stats. I have a great, interesting, fun fact for you today around the playoffs and what's going on with that, man. So, how's the week? How's the week been for you?
It's been okay, man. I mean, it's been hectic. It's been cold every single night.
It has been cold.
It's been cold every single night. I haven't felt good. And every time someone doesn't feel good, you know how they're like, oh shit, he's got the virus. He's got the COVID.
He's got the COVID.
Yeah, man. But I just, it just was the regular old fucking. And it's crazy to say that when you have to justify being sick. No. I just have a regular. It's almost like saying no. I haven't been bitten by a zombie.
Right.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I'm not gonna do what you all think I'm gonna do and freak out. You know what I'm saying? But no, I've been good, man. It's been an interesting week. I told you we won our playoff game, so we're in the Super Bowl. So this whole week has been great practice. Everybody's focused. So it's been good, man. What about you? What have you been up to this week, man?
It's been a quiet week, grinding with work and everything else, with that and the kids running around doing some stuff, trying to get the house, dressed up the way it needs to be. I think we're gonna have some people over this weekend for the Bucks game.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into that Bucks game.
Let me ask you something. Are you gonna do a man cave in the house? Are you gonna do one or no?
In the old house, I had one.
Is Michelle gonna grab you by the nuts and be like, no?
Well, in the old house, I kind of sort of had one. It was kind of where the office was. It was just my office. This house, we shared the office.
Right.
But eventually in life, I'll have a man cave once the kids get out of the house.
Yeah,
that'll become. But it's a few years down the road.
The best man cave I've ever saw was by my buddy EJ. EJ has a separate you remember portables in high school? Remember how they used to have a portable, whatever, couple, used to walk to this shit?
Yeah.
Well, he has this huge pool. He has a batting cage in the back of his house, a beautiful batting cage. And then he has something that looks like a portable, right? So you're like, oh, that must be the shed. The sea. You ever see the commercial, the she shed? It must be that shed. So let me, where he puts his lawnmowers or some shit. Bro, you walk into this thing, it is completely decked out. Pool table, TVs,
wow.
Trophies. The freaking, I saw this oh God, I really want to buy it. I don't even know what to call it. I'm not domesticated enough. Freaking, it's like this coffee table. Well, I'm just saying, I'm too Florida. So there's this coffee table almost, right? So I was like, well, that's kind of weird to have a coffee, because he has the stadium couches, the ones that you freaking electric and you
right.
The movie
theater. Yeah.
The coffee table opens up, the TV comes out.
What?
You hit the fucking button and then the TV comes out. I'm like, what is this? He opens up the middle of the couch thing and it can serve as an ice bucket for your beers.
Oh, for your beers. And
if you go by the foot thing and you open it, there's more beers in there.
That's great. So I will tell you, the closest that I'm going to get to a man cave.
Right.
Okay. And I may need your help. And I'm going to need the fans' help. She may be watching the show now, actually, at work.
She's pissed.
So I'm trying to get a fridge. I'm trying to get a fridge in every room that I can possibly be in.
A mini fridge?
Yes.
Oh, that's dope.
So I got one in the patio.
No reason for a
Right.
kitchen.
So I got one there.
Yeah.
We have one upstairs in the loft.
Uh-huh.
I want to get one in the bedroom
Nice.
because I have a little balcony going out to the outside. So I want to grab a beer and go sit outside.
You know, you should have like a wine rack in there. So when it gets really,
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like a little
pour a little
fancy
glass and
like a little
dim the
little
lights.
thing in there. Yeah, shit like that. Put some.
Good idea.
She'll know what's up when she sees satin sheets and silk.
Go.
What is tonight the night?
It is Wednesday. So.
Get into the fridge, pop the champagne.
That's right.
Well,
listen, man, we have a ton of things to get into.
Yeah.
And again, for everybody that's tuning in to the show, we are live. There's a live broadcast. It is going to be replayed on our podcast as soon as we're done here. So if you missed out on it, go check it out there. The video will be live as well for you guys to check it out. Visit our show. Join our Facebook group. It's On the Clock Sports Talk. Again, join. We have a lot of debates, pretty good ones in there as well about what's going on in the sports world as well. You can find us on any podcasting stream by simply searching On the Clock Radio. So with that being said, man, we're going to jump right into it here. There was some breaking news that occurred.
Lots of breaking news
here over the last couple of days, right? So, first things first, we have James Harden finally gets out of Houston.
Yeah, but there's so much going on in there.
Oh man. So he finally joins the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
He joins KD, the disappearing Kyrie. I guess we'll get into Kyrie disappearing stuff. But I know you had some interesting sound bites of what DeMarco Cousins and even what they were saying about James Harden as far as what he was as a teammate and how that went. So I'm gonna let you play the clip there first for a second.
Man, and I'll set it up for you, man. And we'll get into Kyrie here in a second, but I'm gonna set up with James Harden from DeMarco Cousins, and we'll talk about it. I'll let the fans listen to what DeMarco Cousins had to say about James Harden.
Me personally, I don't feel betrayed at all. My interest is playing with John Wall, to be brutally honest. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, the disrespect started way before, any interview. Just the approach to training camp, showing up the way he did, the antics off the court. I mean, the disrespect started way before. So this isn't something that, all of a sudden happened, last night. But with that being said, like I said, this is the nasty part of the business. So it is what it is.
Listen, man, and if you listen to it carefully, the antics off the court, how he handled himself for training camp, he's more excited to play with John Wall.
Yeah. And John Wall seems to be more excited playing with everybody else besides James Harden.
This is my question to you, okay? And I'm going to refer back to something here. James Harden going to go play with the Nets, in my opinion, is a bad idea.
Agreed.
I don't think it's a good look. And I don't know why Kevin Durant – well, I do know why, because Kevin can't beat LeBron by himself. So he has to go load up. He has to go load up. My mentality was, why – I know James Harden is a good athlete. I know James Harden is a good basketball player. So I get getting him on there. But do you take him knowing that there's going to be frustration down the road?
Yeah, so I'll give you this comment here. I'm going to take a comment here from Peter Williams. Shout out to you for commenting on the show. KD went from going to the Splash Brothers when he was at Golden State, right, to now the Dribble Brothers, because that's exactly what's going to happen. All these guys are just dribble ball guys. They're isolation basketball players.
That's it,
right? And for the young fans that are understanding isolation basketball is basically they play the basketball of 4 guys on one side of the court, one guy stays on the opposite side, he's in a dribble. And take the ball to the hole, get a foul, shoot free throws. That's how they generate offense, is they do more of one-on-one versus a team type of oriented guy. Now you add another guy who demands the ball, who's going to shoot the ball whenever he wants to.
Right.
Doesn't like to pass. Obviously, it didn't work out when he had Russell Westbrook, who's another ball demanding guy. He's a dribble guy, right? Yeah. Now you add 2 other ones in Kyrie and Kevin Durant. I don't understand why you make this trade.
I don't understand. I mean, I understand from a Brooklyn Nets point of view, right? But did they ask KD how they would like this? Now you got Kyrie missing. Maybe he's, I don't know, some way, somehow, probably acting out like, fuck, we got James Harden over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. I don't know. I don't understand what happened. Like, for instance, the OKC brothers, which Harden was on, Westbrook and Durant were all on.
Didn't work.
It didn't work with Westbrook and Harden. So now we're going to find out, was it Westbrook or Harden when he goes here with Durant? Because if Kevin can't cut it over here with Harden, then it's definitely Kevin. I mean, then it's definitely James Harden. To me, I know he's a good scorer, and I know he does play, I don't know, man. I know he plays by. Put it like this. I got several ideas, and I'm trying to get them all out to you. One, in the last 10 seconds, 5 seconds of the game winner, who's shooting the last shot? Durant, Kyrie, or Harden?
Whoever's hot. And Jay Scudder actually, he's on. Thanks, Jay. Thanks for tuning into the show. He brought a comment saying each one of them gets hot once a quarter. They're going to beat teams. They're going to beat half the teams in the league just because they're so dominant. They trade off quarters. You got first quarter KD. I got second quarter James. Kyrie, you take over the third. Whoever's hot going into the fourth, you take over the fourth.
If the Brooklyn Nets do not make the finals, this season was a bust.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm going to tell you right now, here's something else I'm going to present to you from the NBA. I have been advocating heavily that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. If the Brooklyn Nets make the finals and the Lakers make the finals and LeBron takes out the Brooklyn Nets, LeBron James will be the GOAT.
The 36-year-old, 18 seasons in. Man, people are so low enough to try to beat this guy.
I'm going to tell you, yes. That's exactly what I was going to say. We are still trying to make super teams to beat one man. And here's how dominant LeBron is. And I haven't been on LeBron train. I love him as a basketball player.
You have not. You have not at all.
I love him as a basketball player, but here's something I want to tell you and the rest of the audience, right? LeBron James started in the East. And everybody said the East was weak.
Right, so he went to the West.
This man goes to the West, and everybody now is fucking running to the East.
The other way.
Because they understand.
Yeah, you know what? That's a very good observation.
James Harden knew after last season, I am never going to get to the NBA Finals because I got to go through this big bitch. I got to go through him and the 46 freaking player roster that he has. You know what I'm saying? Of athletes. I can't go. James Harden knew he's not going to be able to get through them. Let me go to the East. I would say maybe Boston. Maybe they'll be, tough. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. That's all he has to get through to the East.
So
to get to the finals.
Okay. So and that's it, right? If all three of those guys work out now, again, and Jay Scudder again commented saying that, they all played together in OKC, didn't work out because they were young. Now they're more mature in their years of playing basketball separately.
Westbrook was more mature, and Harden was more mature just last season, were they not?
Yeah, that is true.
Why does it not work? We could say, and Scudder knows more about basketball than I do. But the one thing I'm very big on is the chemistry. If the chemistry is not there, whether you're young or old, it's not going to work. And if they had bad chemistry when they're young, they're going to have bad chemistry when they get older. There's going to be things in the 82-game season they're not going to like. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to work. I'm interested to see how Kevin Durant's going to work because Kevin Durant couldn't share the spotlight with Curry and Clay. So now he's going to share the spotlight with these two guys?
Yeah, but I think the difference there, here he's seen as the man,
sure.
Right? And when he was with the Warriors, he was seen as the third wheel, right? He was the Draymond Green replacement in the scoring column, right? Because it was really always about Steph and Klay Thompson. Right. We had more breaking news that occurred here over the last couple of days, and we had a Bill O'Brien sighting. Bill O'Brien has officially become the offensive coordinator for Bama. So Bama,
this became final. This
is official. It is done. Bill O'Brien is back coaching football, and credit to Bama. I guess Bama is like, and I saw this comments a couple of times. Bama is the rehab center for coaches.
Who
wants to get back into the league? Who wants to get back to the league?
You think Bill O'Brien's a good OC, though? You think he's a good offensive coordinator?
I think he used to be.
Yeah, I
think he was. I mean, that's why he went from college to the NFL. Again, a lot of people have made that jump from college to NFL, and it has not
worked.
It has not worked out at all. So he's going back to college. Again, Bama is always loaded. Interesting. I mean, we know Ajayi here, Hall, right? I'm interested what how he goes into Bill O'Brien's offense up there.
Nick Saban is one of the micromanaging coaches of the world. Is he not?
Yes.
Bill O'Brien is the most vocal asshole.
Do whatever you want.
This is going to work.
I mean,
once again, it goes back to chemistry. This is going to work.
This guy doesn't come on unless Nick Saban says it's okay. That's how nothing goes through Bama unless Nick Saban says it's okay.
I totally agree with you. So let's assume let's play the role here, right? I'm Saban, you're Bill O'Brien. Hey, come on in here, Bill. Let's have a seat. Oh man, it's great to interview you for the offensive coordinator. Listen, if you come in Alabama, don't give me no shit. Don't fucking tweet nothing out. And it's my way or no way. And you better goddamn find ways to get Devontae Smith the ball. If he doesn't declare for the draft, if he's out of here, I got a fucking 5-star wide receiver coming in here from Bloomingdale High School in Florida. We got to find ways to get him the football. Do you understand this is how it works? Boom, 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 boom. You think Bill O'Brien is going to be able to do that when he can't even groom Deshaun Watson?
Well, but give the guy some credit. He groomed Deshaun Watson to an extent. Now, he is not the best people person. I think the biggest problem there was Bill O'Brien was the GM also.
Bro.
And he was not a GM at all.
J.J. Watt, who is God in Texas, okay, who is beloved in Houston, who I'm sure everybody in the state of Texas prays to, J.J. Watt, argue with Bill O'Brien and tell him how much of a trash coach he is. We go to Alabama.
I think that's more on the general manager side. Again, and he's going to Alabama. And again, a couple comments here from people tuning in. He doesn't have the NFL obligations that he did with the Texans, right? Alabama. He's just now a coordinator. That's what he is. Yeah. And Jay was, commenting that, there's less headaches because they're not as grown men. So you're right. You're not going to have that J.J. Watt that tells you.
Bro, you're in Alabama. You're in Alabama. There's pressure. If he can't put up the amount of points, think about how good that offense was this year.
Yeah.
It was very efficient. Now, I know he's the weapons of Najee Harris, Devontae Smith, Waddle. I know those are huge, big parts of it, but Alabama will just reload.
Right.
If this guy cannot produce that, this is a one-year hit wonder. If he cannot produce it, he is I'm calling it now. He is a one-year hit wonder.
That's it. He might bring in another rehab coach next year.
If he can't beat the normal teams, like the little petty teams that they play, by 60 or 70 points, he's only put up 35 or 40. He's going to be done by midseason. You watch.
So, something that no one's done in a while is put pressure on Alabama in a national championship game.
Right. And
the one thing I want to talk to you about is how do we fix college football? Specifically in the playoffs. How do we fix it?
Listen, when I was on the JP radio show, right? Shout out to JP and fanstreamsports.com. When I was on the radio show, me and JP were talking about this because it is the same teams.
Now, Alabama, Notre Dame, Ohio State, and a random fourth.
And you just said the name. We don't even speak the name Notre Dame in this house. But that's the one thing that I kept repeating. Like Notre Dame gets, they get some notoriety just to be in there, which it's not because it's Notre Dame. But it is the same teams. It is Ohio State, it is Clemson, it is Alabama. I really don't know what is the best way to shake up college football other than maybe putting a cap on how many 5-star athletes you can get. Because I don't, and I say that jokingly, but I'm not being serious. But how do you introduce another team other than what we said? You have to extend the playoffs.
You have to expand. So bowl games are pointless. Bowl games don't mean what they used to mean, especially with all the young men taking care of their bodies and deciding to go into the NFL. And you cannot blame a young man for not playing in a game that doesn't mean anything for them.
Right.
It's going to hurt and hurt their future. Yeah. So my opinion, you have to treat college football playoffs similar to the way we do March Madness in college basketball.
Yeah.
Right? There's a ton of teams that are in. Now, I'm not saying you bring in 40 teams and have a 40-team playoff, right? But what I am saying is you got to expand it to 8. Expand it to 8. Let more teams in. I think that's how you're going to see upsets. I think that's how you're going to see these. I would have loved to seen Texas A&M in the playoffs.
And they would have got destroyed. But it would have been nice to see it because it ends the whole, they got to play, we were 11-0. They played 6 games. I played 11 games. It kills all that noise for this COVID year. You know what I mean? We're going to have to see how this goes on. I don't know how to shake up college football. I don't know. Other than tell Alabama, you start out every year number 10 and then work your head.
So you can't put them. You got to put them in a handicap.
I don't know how to shake up college football because it's almost like youth football, almost like high school football, right? You're going to have those most dominant teams, right? So, for instance, in youth football, the most dominant team in all of Tampa is the Tampa Bay Jags, right? They're the most dominant team. And I'm being son. There's going to be some biased people. There's going to be people across the bridge. No, it's 727. Shut the fuck up. It's going to be all those guys. All right. But it's the Tampa Bay Jags. In high school, you still got your Techs. You got your freaking Armwood. Bloomingdale creeped up there with a great year. You got your Gaithers there. You're going to have those normal cycle of teams that continue to have success. College is no different. College is you're going to continue to have that. So I don't know.
Comment again from Jay. So, and I'm gonna throw this out there. So Jay said, all Power 5 teams send their conference champions to the playoffs. Then add the D2, D3 champion, the MEAC, SWAC, and seed them all in a bracket till we get a winner.
Yeah,
because that's how you get. Because man, how many times have we seen and it always takes me back to Appalachian State beating Michigan.
Yeah, week 1. Right? I remember. Yeah.
That's how you get those, those kind of games.
I think drinking.
Yeah, probably.
I'm just good.
I think that's a great idea. Because I think that way you incorporate all the leagues in, and you truly have a college football champion that goes across all divisions of sports, especially now, especially in the COVID year where I think more kids. The whole transfer portal is going to mess. More talented kids are sliding down. I think you're going to see some pretty good D2, D3 football being played across the state, and it'd be nice to give that school a spotlight and a chance because the bag is what's important there.
Well, I still with how can I say the MEAC and D2, D3, they still need spotlights. I think ESPN should expand and give them spotlights. I think that should just happen naturally. I don't, what I'm saying? I think they should televise the FAMU Bethune-Cookman game. It's a historical game. They should.
It should be on national main event television, not the
Deion's college team is going to be. He's going to be broadcasted because it's Deion.
Well, of course, the name.
Right. Well, if I'm in the conference, whoever I'm trying to play Deion's team.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm trying to get exposed. Yeah. So but that should happen naturally. They should do that. I just don't know how you fix the D1 conferences. Because this is going to continue. This is going to be like, think about Alabama's been on top for how many years? Even though they've been beaten by Clemson, Ohio State. Every once in a while,
they're always in that conversation.
They're never going to stop. That thing is a constant machine over there. You know what I'm saying? Clemson ain't going to stop. Ohio State's never going to stop. They've been to 3 different coaches, and they're still Power 5. Right. They're still in there. So I really don't know how you shake it up. I would like some good ideas though, and maybe we could talk about it with somebody else. Jay Scudder was nice of him to put on there. He has some good ideas, but I would like to see. I'd like to see how we would change it up, man. I really do.
Yeah. So, and moving into our NFL news, and there was a ton of those also that kind of came out over the last couple of days. First things first, we're going to start with. So Andre Johnson came out and made some interesting comments about again the Texans that you just talked about, Bill O'Brien. And I'll read this out there for our listeners out there. If I'm Deshaun Watson, this is by Andre Johnson. Again, and you made a comment earlier. Andre Johnson hasn't tweeted out in like 2 years.
Yeah, he doesn't say much. I think honestly, the last tweet before this one was October of 2020. And then before that was like 2017.
Yeah, so the guy doesn't go on social media very much.
Right.
And again, and I'm quoting him, if I'm Deshaun Watson, I will stand my ground. the Texans organization is known for wasting players' career. Since Jack Esterby has walked into the building, nothing good has happened in or for the organization. For some reason, someone can't seem to see what's going on. Pathetic. What are your thoughts?
Exclamation points.
What are your thoughts?
Andre Johnson has never been known to talk much. Even when he was in the league, he was never known to talk a whole bunch. I remember beating the shit out of that cornerback. I can't remember the quarterback's name for Tennessee, but he beat the crap out of that guy. He doesn't talk much, man. So when he's sitting there telling you that there's something wrong with the Houston Texans, you know what I'm saying? Because he could easily got out the league and then bashed them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But every week in 2017, especially, he was like, "Oh, I want to see my Houston team." He was still supportive, but he is very supportive of Deshaun Watson leaving and doing what you're supposed to do. He wants him to stick by his guns. There's something wrong in Houston.
There is. There's big problems.
So whenever it was Bill O'Brien or the man, like he just said, that gentleman, something's wrong in Houston. I am advocating Deshaun Watson, get out, go.
Yeah,
go somewhere else. It's JJ Watt. God bless you. Leave. Nothing good is going to happen to you. For JJ Watt, you've done your duty. You deserve a Super Bowl. You are not going to get a Houston Texans.
That's not going to happen.
So Deshaun Watson, I definitely want him to come to Miami. Come on down to enjoy this beach weather. I see you on the boat, Deshaun Watson. We got plenty of water over here.
So would you trade Deshaun for Tua?
Absolutely. In a heartbeat.
Man, I didn't even think about that, huh?
Nope. As soon as it was announced, I was like, God, I hope this happens. There's a couple reasons why. I was never a fan of Tua. Well, in college I was. Coming out of college, I wasn't a fan of him. Think about the receivers Tua has had at Alabama. We're talking about Alabama now. Think of the receivers he had, bro.
Oh yeah, they're all first round picks.
They're all first round wide receivers. You mean to tell me he's NFL material? Bro, me and you could throw a 5-yard route to Devontae Smith, Ruggs, whoever you want, Judy.
Judy, all of them.
5-yard route to these guys, and they're going to take it 90 yards. I'm going to look like the greatest. I'm going to look like Ken Dorsey. Remember Ken Dorsey?
Yeah, I remember Ken Dorsey for the Hurricanes. Yeah.
Andre Johnson, Reggie Wayne. He had weapons. There's nothing that you can do. So I wasn't sold on Tua all the way. I wanted Herbert. I didn't want Tua. I didn't get my wish, and I still haven't won the lottery, so that's fine. So, you know what I'm saying? But bring in Deshaun Watson. He's still young enough. You're going to get another 9 to 10 years out of him.
Right.
Easy. He hasn't been injured seriously. He has 4 years of experience under his belt. He has great awareness. I would love to have Deshaun Watson there. I would love to have him down there, especially since we're going to get a new OC. I would love to have a new quarterback spending time with him, man. I would definitely do. Let them go to it because there's been Miami Dolphins reportedly coming out saying, yeah, Tua's not ready.
Wow.
Tua, the guy, he's not progressing.
Wow.
That hurts my feelings, man. Like every great quarterback, like Peyton Manning was progressing when he first came out of college. You know, he was drafted, he was progressing, and he was a number 2. Ryan Leaf was number 1.
Yeah.
Some asshole predicted Ryan Leaf. But Ryan Leaf, right? So Peyton Manning, they at least progress, man. I don't want to. Tua's got to go. He's got to move. He got to progress.
He does. He's got to make moves. He's got to go moving forward for sure.
He was not going to freaking progress that kid. He wasn't going to do it. And now, you know, Deshaun. I hope he leaves. I hope he goes. And wherever he goes, I'm going to follow because I love watching Deshaun Watson.
No, I completely agree. Hopefully, he gets out of Houston. In other news, we also had a hire. We have the Jets have found their guy. The defensive coordinator from the 49ers heads over there. What do you think about that? Is it a good hire, bad hire?
No, it's a good hire. I've heard. I say I heard like I'm in the NFL. I've read nothing but good things. Right, my sources. I've read nothing but good things about him, and you know how they talk about him on ESPN. Never heard anything bad. So, you know, he's a very passionate, emotional guy on the sideline. I don't know if you've seen 49er games.
He is. Oh, yeah. He is he's a fiery guy. But again, as a defensive coordinator, you have to be, right?
Oh, yeah. You got to be wild. You definitely got to be. My guy, Ken Shepard, who's a 49er super fan. He's gonna be pissed. I know he's pissed about this because he actually liked the guy.
Wait till we get to the Eagles candidate segment here.
Oh my God, I want to talk to Fred about. If I could get Fred on here, it would be freaking hilarious.
We also had Urban. Urban is making his return to football, but not college. He's going into the NFL. Urban Meyer's in the NFL. He's taking over the Jacksonville Jaguars gig there. They have the number 1 overall pick in the draft. That probably swing the pot a little bit for Urban to come out of retirement. Who does he take? Because he has to draft a quarterback number 1, right?
Oh, absolutely. How great would it be? This would be hilarious. How great would it be if he takes Fields instead of Lawrence? Because he's so Ohio State Buckeye. Because I don't think he likes Sweeney. How great would it be if he just took Fields?
What would be even funnier?
Oh God,
is if Urban Meyer came out and said, I have Trevor ranked as my 11th best quarterback.
Oh God, that'd be. Could you imagine that?
Clemson talking about Ohio State being 11th best.
Yeah, what a petty move that would be. Like, yeah, he's on my 11th. On my top tier, he's probably 11th. That'd be great for him to do. I don't know how great he's going to be, man. It's like I keep telling you, chemistry.
But he's bringing his own staff. He's bringing his own staff that he has chemistry with.
But bro, these are college. Listen to me.
Oh, I know. No, the college NFL is different.
How old are you, George?
I'm 34. I'll be 35. Actually, my birthday's in 12 days, baby.
You have a mortgage?
I do.
You got kids?
I do.
How many cars do you have?
1. Well, 2, but 1 and the wife each have 1.
It's 2 cars, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You have a job?
Yep.
Who motivates you?
My paycheck.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to tell a multi-millionaire, 34-year-old defensive lineman who has 2 ex-wives, a baby mama on the side, or a side chick with another, working on his 3rd marriage with a side chick, right? With a Lamborghini, a mansion. Hey man, listen, you're not producing good enough. You need to do this. These guys are not going to listen to Urban Meyer, man. I'm interested to see how this goes. He's going to have to clean house and then build it back.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I hope he does. And I don't know, man. NFL is a beast, man. I'm sure he understands the business. I wish him luck. It'd be nice to see the Jaguars competitive again, but I don't know, man. This one, I don't favor this one. I was ready for Eric Benini to get the job. That's what I really think should have got a job. But good luck to Urban Meyer, man. We'll see how it works.
He's in the Sunshine State again. We'll see. We'll see how that
fake the freaking Urban Meyer. Don't think we forgot Urban. Urban, don't you think Florida fans forgot about your health?
So it's funny. It's funny. The wife literally said that to me 2 nights ago. She goes, because she's like, oh, it's funny how he got out of Florida by saying he had a illness, and then he goes to Ohio State and has another illness just to get out of these contracts and stop coaching. And it's right before something was coming out.
Well,
some recruiting allegation comes out.
No, he got out because of his coach who was beating his wife.
Well, there you go.
That's what it was. In Ohio State, the coach that was beating his wife, abusing her or whatever, he was a psychopath.
And he knew about it.
And that's why he had to get Ohio State, and he had to resign before they fired his ass. Listen, you're going to Jacksonville, Duval. There's a lot of crap going on down there.
Oh, yeah.
You better not get caught up, Urban. Listen, man, this guy's known to cover up some shit.
Yeah.
Listen to me. He covered up Aaron Hernandez.
As much as he could.
As much as he could at Florida. This man's known to cover up some shit. So we're going to see. We'll see how it goes down there or up there in Duval.
And I wish we had Fred on the show for this next segment, because I want to see Fred's look when I tell him that Adam Gase, this guy right here, is a candidate for the Eagles head coaching job. This guy right here. And I'm going to leave the picture right here for you.
Listen to me, bro. Look at this freaking picture. If I know the fans that are listening on Podbean and iTunes, you can't look at it, but whenever you get a chance, Google Adam Gase. There's not a picture on there where his eyes aren't coming out of his freaking head. For the people that join us live that are watching this, look at this dude's face. This is the face of your franchise.
This guy right here.
This guy who just literally took a blow off the back of a toilet seat, who did a line of cocaine off the back of a toilet seat. This guy is going to be a head coach, possibly. Head coach.
He's a candidate.
When I heard he was a front runner. This is the guy. Now, George, here's my question. I'm gonna swat this back to you.
Okay.
Why are we not hiring Eric Bieniemy? Why is this guy a candidate?
I don't get it. That's
Eric Bieniemy has been interviewed by all these guys. All these jobs that we're talking about, he's been interviewed. Yeah. Why? This guy just had a tank season, and he fucked that up by winning 3 games. He messed that up by winning 2 games.
He got fired for failing at tanking.
How did you tank and still screw up the number 1 spot to receive the number 1 player out of college? He screwed that up. I'm sorry, man. I was not a fan of him in Miami. No. I laughed my ass off when he went to the Jets. And to hear that he is a front runner for the Eagles, Fred Powell, I'm telling you right now, there will never be a day you go by in your NFL season where I do not clown you and your coach. I promise you. I will dedicate my days to that.
Hopefully they hire one of these other guys. Gerard Mayo has also been rumored as the guy he's interviewed for the job. I think he'd be a great fit. And then the obvious one, the one you mentioned.
Yes.
This guy's interviewed like 7 different places. Does he come back to KC?
I don't get it. What I want to know is unless Eric Bieniemy's going in there in flip-flops, no shirt on, just like, bro, I got Patrick Mahomes. Why would I want to come here? You know what I'm saying? Which I doubt it. I believe he's nothing. Everything
he's a good guy.
Everything we've read about him is that he's ready for it. Now, listen, we all know race is an issue in the NFL and in college football. I try to be a fair person, but I'm really starting to believe that they're holding this against this man. You know what I'm saying? Why has he not? I'm not saying he's going to be the most winningest coach in history, right? I'm not saying he might work out like Mike Tomlin did, where Mike Tomlin hasn't missed he hasn't missed a postseason 15 years or something like that.
He's been in the postseason. He's been 500 or better every year he's been there.
Jesus. That's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Not because he's a African-American coach, but that's just hard to do in the NFL. I don't know if Eric Bieniemy is going to be just like that, but out of all these coaches, especially
this guy. How are you considering this guy over this guy?
How?
I don't get it either.
How does anybody not watch fucking Sunday KC offense? Does anybody not watch the play call that goes on, the design of the play? And I know Andy Reid has a big part of it, but bro, this guy, to me, he's the top guy in every category. Why are we not giving him a chance?
Unless he's not interviewing well. But again,
that's what I'm saying.
I highly doubt that. I highly
doubt it, bro. Because he would have been great for Jacksonville. And I'll tell you why. He's going to have the number 1 pick, get a young quarterback in there. He knows how to groom him because he's been having Patrick Mahomes.
Right. Well, the same thing. And the Eagles with Jalen Hurts.
Right.
Or with the Texans, Deshaun Watson.
Why would you not want to hire this guy?
I don't know.
There's something to this, man. And let me tell you something. If he goes one more year, bro, I'm telling you, everybody should ban him from watching football. That's crazy.
I agree.
That's not cool, man. That's not cool. I'm not taking Adam Gase. Even if you didn't know who Adam Gase was and you Googled him and then you saw that picture.
In the picture, that's it.
He is never going to be my head coach. Ever. Fuck that.
So now we got to get into a little bit of a playoff preview. This is, if our boy Pete is still hanging around, this is going to be his favorite segment of the show. So first we're going to start out over in the AFC. We got Baker and Mahomes. KC has opened up as a 10-point favorite to beat the Browns. Who are you taking? And make sure you write this down today, by the way, for our pickups.
Here, this is live. We can go back to see this.
Okay, we can go back. I don't have my. But anyhow, who are you picking here? KC? Or no, actually, we won't do a pick'em yet. What do you think about this matchup here? We'll talk about the pick'ems afterwards.
I know Cleveland's right on the high because they took out the Steelers, but the Steelers were overrated, like you've been saying all season long since week 4, that they've been overrated. I don't know if they're going to take out KC. I don't know. KC's been off for a little while, but I think KC likes doing it that way. Which if you give 2 weeks for Andy Reid to prepare on offense, he just gets to work on more shit.
Right.
Him and Eric Benini probably worked on more things to do. But I like KC, man. KC just to me has too many weapons. They're too fast. I know Cleveland has weapons as well, and they've been doing pretty well, but I think KC by 2 touchdowns.
All right, so Peter's checked back into the show.
Oh, here he goes. He's
All
gonna
right,
tell me I'm wrong. Call me
and I may have to look this up while we're live. He said, "I'm taking Baby George over Mahomes."
Jesus.
He is saying that me and Baker look the same. We got the beard going, man.
Bro, listen, man. Pete, you really think Baker Mayfield is good? He's the guy.
Without Odell.
When you think, when you think of guys that could take down the Chiefs, you're telling me Baker Mayfield's the guy. And you might be right, because any given Sunday or Saturday, it's the playoffs. It's a whole new season. As long as you're in, something else can happen. I'm not saying that. But in my mind, when I think of quarterback that could take down KC, the top of the list is not Baker Mayfield. But he could surprise me. We'll see how he goes, because all you need is a Cinderella story, and the Browns can fit that Cinderella story. So
the worst thing for the Browns in this game is if it's a shootout. If Baker has to throw the ball more than 35 times in this game, KC will win the game by 21 points. In my opinion, that's how that's going to turn out. In the next, it's going to be. In our next one, we have Lamar and Josh Allen. Now, before we break this game down, take a look at these quarterbacks that are left in the playoffs. Okay? Baker's the oldest of the 4 remaining quarterbacks.
Isn't that crazy? And Baker's like,
He's
what,
27?
27.
The other guys are 25 years or younger.
Dean, the AFC's
This is why you draft. This is why drafting a quarterback, a good one, and developing them, like you mentioned, matters so much. Because here you are, they're 25 years old, and they're in the playoffs, and these are guys that can consistently bring you back year in and year out. And, these guys are no longer on a rookie deal. Lamar Jackson still is technically, so is Josh Allen.
Right.
But these guys are all rookie deals. So the cap space that you're able to save to go get other guys to make this run, I mean, it's crucial. Now, with that being said, what are your thoughts on this matchup here?
I like Josh Allen and the Bills. I know Raheem Monroe is somewhere right now saying Bills Mafia. Yeah, Bills Mafia. But yeah, man, I like the Bills. I mean, Josh Allen and them, they're like
fun
a
to watch
right now. Yeah, they're like a Ferrari right now.
To watch. Stephon Diggs going to Buffalo has completely changed their offense and their dynamics. Again, the one thing I'm concerned about, and I've said this over and over in different shows, is the ability to run the football.
Yes.
The Bills don't necessarily have that ability to run the ball consistently. They're not dominant. They're more of a Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, throw the ball down the field kind of team. The one chance I think that Baker has to upset Mahomes is if Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt run the ball, which, again, for Kareem Hunt, this is a personal game, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because Kareem Hunt got cut.
He was talking good shit.
He's been out there on social media talking a little bit of noise. Josh Allen, MVP candidate. He's up there in the running now. It's going to be an interesting matchup for sure. Can the Bills stop Lamar Jackson's running game? These guys have been in a tear the last 5 weeks now. They've ran for over 100 yards in every single game.
Yep.
Last week, they ran for nearly 200 yards. And they finally made the switch. I've been calling for this switch for a long time when they finally took out Mark Ingram.
Yeah.
And put in the guy from Ohio State, J.K. Dobbins.
Yes.
They just looked more electric. The guy has more juice. He's quicker with his steps. He's a faster guy. He has that breakaway ability where Mark Ingram's going to get you 3.2 yards a carry.
I agree with you, man. And when you mention run game, it's the Ravens and Cleveland who have the run game.
Right.
They have the run game.
But you got Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, so you got the balance, right, of the run game is these two guys are the X factor for their teams.
Right. And that's where if if Lamar has to get into a shootout with the Bills, I feel the same way you felt with Cleveland and Chiefs.
Yeah.
I don't think Lamar's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Josh Allen's offense. Let me tell you, if those Bills come out the first drive, boom, 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 touchdown within 4 minutes, it's going to be a long day for the Ravens.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's got to shoot them out with him. And God forbid if they get a stop and then put up another touchdown. Now they're just going to abandon the run and just try straight.
Just try to throw because now you got to go score for score. Yeah. The Ravens do have a pretty good defense. I'm interested in seeing how the matchup kind of works because the secondary for the Ravens is pretty good.
Yeah, how do you slow down Stephon Diggs, man?
Because if it's not him, Cole Beasley.
Yeah,
he's that Edelman kind of guy for Josh Allen. They're kind of taking that Patriots play, template. Right, they have like 2 or 3 running backs that played. They just signed Devonta Freeman from the Giants practice squad roster because they lost a running back. They just kind of rotate running backs in throughout there, but they're really just a throwing type of team. Right. I'm interested to see how that goes there. I mean, I do think, it's more of the Ravens defense against Josh Allen than it is Lamar against Josh Allen because the Bills, can they slow them down is what the question is going to be. Right. And then this next one, we got Mr. Shutdown Corner.
Yeah.
And Jalen Ramsey against Devontae Adams, the Packers, the Rams. I'm not sure yet who's starting at quarterback. I think Goff is starting at quarterback. For the Packer or for the Rams this week. It's in Green Bay. It's in Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the game? Does Ramsey shut down Devontae Adams? Because if Ramsey can shut down Devontae Adams, that's about the only chance the Rams have of making this a game.
In the last matchup that looked really good, and there's been a lot of great ones with receivers and DBs. There's been a lot of great ones, but the one that I was most excited to watch the last time was Moss versus Revis.
Oh yeah, that was good. Yeah.
That's the last one I was really, really excited to watch. Like, okay, let's now we got to show. Now we got to show here. Let's see what we got. So I'm excited to see what both of them can do. Can Jalen Ramsey easily shut him down? Absolutely, but can Devontae Adams freaking just annihilate Jalen Ramsey? Sure. These are 2 evenly matched men in their skill positions.
Physical. What I don't want is I don't want this to be a flag fest.
Yeah.
Let them play. They're both physical players. Devontae Adams is a very physical receiver. So is Jalen Ramsey as a DB. Let those guys play. Don't bail one out. Don't bail the other one out on a flag or just let them play football.
That's what I want to see as well. And I also want to see, I don't want this to be a decoy game either. You know what I'm saying? Where we pull Devontae
where they move Adams from side to side just so they can go the other way with the other receivers they have. Yeah,
I hope they don't play those shadow games. Actually, try to attack him. I think Aaron Rodgers will try a couple times trying to attack him.
It's Aaron Rodgers.
It's Aaron. Yeah, it is. And again, I can't call it either way. I can't sit there and say Rams is going to dominate this dude, and I can't say Adams is going to kill this guy. Like I can't even call it either way because they're both very skilled in their positions, man.
Yeah, the one thing for me is Aaron Jones. Obviously, Green Bay has a running game, and I preach this running game in the playoffs, right? But Aaron Donald is a beast. He controls that middle of the field. Now, he did hurt his ribs.
He did
last week because he was seen coming out, and he was kind of 50% kind of the rest of the way. How does he impact the game? Because if he can control that line of scrimmage and prevent the game from being one up front, because I think the Packers go into this game saying we want to run the ball as much as we can, try to use play action pass. Is probably their game plan for the week. What happens when Aaron Jones gets shut down? Now you're stuck in 3rd and 13 situations, and now we know that's when the Rams are at their best. When they know you're going to throw the ball, they have the guys to cover it man to man. They can play zone. They can do those things well. That's kind of the game between the game that I'm interested in seeing.
So my thing is this: if I'm the Packers from the first quarter, I'm doubling Aaron Donald and getting super physical with him early.
Absolutely.
I know you're still sore, bro. I know you
test those ribs out. You got to test those ribs out.
Let's see how you do with this double team. I know you got that cortisone shot. I know you're feeling great, but we're gonna wear off that juice by getting you amped up, a little bit of adrenaline pumping. Let's burn off that cortisone a little bit. I'm gonna double team him early and run the ball like you said.
Yeah.
Try to understand this is the game plan to slow down Aaron Donald because by the 3rd, 4th quarter, I know he's hurting. I know he's hurting. He's slowing coming off the ball. So now the double teams turn into little blocks to where I can climb to the backers and stuff, and your play action start working a little bit better. That's just my opinion, though. I'm still coaching high school, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I have no idea. But I'm interested to see it because, like you said, if you get them in second and long, third and long, that's when the Rams are at their best, and they just pin their ears back, and they're just going to be Rodgers. Yeah. It's gonna be a tough matchup because, like you said, anybody that gets in the dance, they can go home with the prom queen.
They can.
You know what I mean? So we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see how that goes. That's a good matchup, though, man.
And before we get to my matchup of the week, I want to shout out Miss Liscano for joining the show. She's tuning in, so shout out to her for joining the show.
Sleeping somewhere, go to bed. No, I'm just kidding. That's fine. That's cool.
But the matchup of the week, the why we have the show, at least why I do the show.
My whole reason of being on the radio.
Is here we are, baby.
That is such an awesome picture, bro.
We got Brady and Drew Brees. And to be honest with you, I wish I had another picture for this because I really think the game will be won and lost on how Mike Evans does against Lattimore.
Yeah.
Because Lattimore has owned Mike Evans since I can remember. So that's kind of where, for me, the matchup kind of lies here. But, hey, so listen, first game of the year, Brady with the new team, no chemistry, COVID year.
Sounds like excuses, but go ahead, continue. Continue with
We hung in there.
Second game.
And got our butts kicked. The second time around, AB was his debut. We tried to force feed the guy the ball.
No.
Which, by the way, in both games, Byron Leftwich was still calling the plays.
Go ahead. That's exactly my point, but go ahead.
And now going into the third matchup, I saw it last week. Okay, so last week I tuned into the game. I'm watching it very heavily, and I can tell there's a play call difference from the very beginning of the game.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't see very many deep passes. I saw a couple, right? But
shallow crosses.
Yeah, you saw some of those. You saw the check downs. You saw Fournette get involved early in catching the ball.
Yep.
And again, against a very good Washington football team defense, right? So Brady ended up, not getting really touched at all by Washington's, defensive line. Chase Young was pretty much shut down. But again, the Bucs schemed to shut Chase Young down because Gronk didn't catch a pass.
No,
Gronk was basically playing left tackle.
That's what I was going to say.
Him and Dalton Smith were both playing left tackle on Chase Young.
Please keep that young son of a bitch off of me. Yes.
This guy cannot touch. The other four of you block these three. You two just stay with him majority of the game. So what are your thoughts on this? This is the third time. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. But then again, the Saints have swept us in the regular season, I think 3 consecutive years now, or at least 2 consecutive years, because they swept us this year, and I think they swept us last year, if I'm not wrong. So who wins? Or no, not who wins. What are your thoughts? Because I'm sure I know where you're leaning with this pick already. I can see in your face.
Listen, man, but I was
trying not to be upset this morning.
Back to the beginning of the season, I told you Byron Leftwich was not going to work out.
He needs to go to Marshall. They want him going to
coordinating coach for college, but I told you it was not going to work out with Byron Leftwich because there was too many big name stars coming. Number one being Tom Brady. It was not going to work out because when you do that, when you put your chips all to the middle of the table and you're all in, at the end of the day, it comes to who's coaching those guys. And Byron Leftwich, in my opinion, was not going to win you a Super Bowl. He wasn't going to do it. You might get there. You might be, he was not the guy to win the Super Bowl. That was my point, number one. Number two, you're absolutely right. Those first 2 games that you guys played them, Byron Leftwich was calling the plays. And I'm sorry, primetime game, when the lights came on, man, he was gone. He was out of there. So we'll see how that goes. I still think the Saints beat you by 3.
We're doing our pick'ems later. So
for me, the whole time because we're at 59 minutes, so I've been picking them the whole time. Saints by 3, and I will say this: I'm a true football fan, like many guys are, many women are. Like I'm a true sports fan. I'm looking forward to seeing the matchup of Brees and Brady again. Just like anybody was excited back in the day watching freaking Marino versus Elway or Johnny Unitas versus Joe Namath. You want Peyton Manning versus whoever was going against Peyton Manning at the time. But you want to watch, you just want to see a good game, and these two guys can give us a great game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. To me, the X factor for the Bucs is going to be the running game. The Bucs have ran the ball better over the last 4, 5, 6 weeks now. I think Ronald Jones has hit a stride. I think they figured out how to use Fournette and Jones together to run the ball. Play action pass is going to be a factor as well. But what concerns me is defensively. We have not shown in 3 years we can stop Michael Thomas or Alvin Kamara from just going off.
Yeah.
You know, these guys enjoy playing Tampa because they're bullies. They just bully Tampa.
They can reach incentives with versus.
Yeah, I know.
They can get incentives.
What incentives we got this week? Oh, we're playing Tampa. We're good. So I'm hoping, that we see Bowles' game plan to stop Mike Evans, or to stop Mike Evans, to stop Michael Thomas, to shut down Kamara, We've been good against the running game all year long. We're the top team there. We got to find a way to shut down those guys, and I'm taking the Bucs by 10.
And you're not wrong by doing that, because
I'm taking the Bucs by 10, man. I think the Bucs win.
You're bucked out right now.
Of course, you see it. I got my Levante Davis shirt on. Devin White comes back this week. Yeah. He has not played since week 16. So he's been off for 2 weeks because he was on the COVID list. And because we played on a Saturday last week, he came off the list on Sunday. So had we played Sunday, he would have played. But again, that's another week of rest for that guy there. I know we're running out of time, like you mentioned. So we're gonna go straight. Peter says Saints by 24. He's picking a blowout. All right, so 24. We're gonna rapid fire. We've already broken the games down. It's time to make the pick'ems. You are picking the Saints. I'm picking the Bucs. So that's done. There. Rams, Packers. Who wins?
I'm going with Packers.
Yep, I'm going Packers as well. Ravens, Bills as well, and then Chiefs. And the other team, the Browns.
Chiefs.
Yeah. I'm going Chiefs as well. So the only game we're off here, different here, it's Saints and the Bucs, which again, you love to pick against my Bucs.
Only when it's the Saints.
No, you did last week with the Washington football team as well. And you said the Falcons would beat one of the two games with Adidas also.
Got you. Wait a minute. Whoa. One of those 3 games, I almost got you. You didn't blow.
Did we win?
You won. You definitely won. There was some questionable shit going on, but you won.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, talk about questionable. Well, we want to talk about youth football questionable players on this segment.
That'd be another hour and a half of screenshotting messages, people being pissed off in these Jerry Springer forum groups. Oh, God. What a week.
Brian is also, Hollister checking in on the show. Appreciate you, Brian. Brian is going, here's his picks. Brian is going Saints, Packers, Bills, Chiefs.
Yeah, see?
Peter has obviously the Saints. He's got the Rams. He's a big defensive guy, man. He's a big fan of Jalen Rams. He got the Rams upsetting
DB coach
the Packers.
He's going with his heart with DBs.
He's going with Cleveland. He's going with Baby George beating the Chiefs and the Bills beating Lamar.
Didn't Pete earlier in the season say that they were a sleeper team?
He did. He's that's one of his top 5 sleeper teams that are still in.
Another podcast, we also said when Cam Newton was looking for a home,
that Cleveland would have been a team
place. But what do we know? We're just
two guys with a mic.
ESPN to hire us.
Yeah, man. So with that being said, dude, we're at 1 hour and 6. I want to thank everyone for joining the show.
Yeah.
Again, if you want to shoot us an email, ontheclock20@gmail.com. Visit our Facebook page. Join the group. It's called On the Clock Sports Talk. Again, any questions, concerns, hit us up. You want to join the show? Let us know. Raul, any parting words as well, my friend?
Absolutely, man. If you ain't busy, if you're not doing anything, come out to Skyway starting at 6:30 in the morning. I'm just kidding, not 6:30 in the morning. About 8 o'clock in the morning, come watch your Tampa Bay Jags, whoop on a couple teams, and also some really good football from youth football around the area. Also, please wear your mask. Please wear your mask.
All right. Until next time, you're on the clock.